to be in.
Now, what I don't hear him saying they really like BI for Trey. That's
no. I didn't say
hear that.
I didn't say BI for Trey.
But I can see this, and the same thing with Cleveland too. This will go Cleveland, especially for Cleveland. I could see a world where they would do it for CJ, but it'd probably be more picks.
Now,
because you can actually take CJ, and I think he's a better fit with DeJounte Murray than BI would be, as well as the next year coming up, his salary is expiring. And then when I look at a guy like the Jalen kid they got over there, I don't know how does that mesh with BI? Their game, I wouldn't say is similar.
No,
but he really likes to attack the paint.
Yeah, but he plays anyway though. Don't Jalen Johnson plays?
He played at the four. He played at the four, and he got some stretch potential. He shot 40% from three.
So that works.
He liked to attack the paint though. And then you got another center. Would they start Sarr?
That first overall pick, if it's the center, Sarr is going to start. Yeah, first overall. You damn right.
So if they start Sarr, then the hell with all that veteran leadership, and they got to move Clint Capella at 20-something million.
Right.
Capella gonna come off the bench for 20-something million?
No, they.
So we gotta take on Trey Young and Clint Capella, right?
Right.
But
if that's
just moving BI,
no,
and extending Trey Murphy, that's a lot of money, bro. That's like $70 million.
Well, that's why
maybe 60 and a half.
That's why the Pelicans don't want Clint Capella. They want Okongwu.
So we gonna repackage Clint Capella and send him somewhere.
I mean, what
if those people don't want to give you Okongwu? Like we can't have a trade where we get everything that we want and don't give up everything we want to give up. We gotta give up something we don't want to give up.
They like BI a lot. There's a lot of teams that like BI. Atlanta likes BI. They might be extra motivated. Right, but Cleveland right now is coming out saying that they're going to try to make Philly don't have nothing you want. They're not giving up Tyrese Maxey.
I'm just saying teams that like him.
Yeah, they got a lot of people that like him.
They say he's their plan B. I said, what the fuck?
What? He must be drinking some green water or something that they got out somewhere, some algae water.
He their plan B. Like we just waiting around to be out of them.
People don't have nothing.
Make us some type of Godfather offer if y'all got a shot.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like either some of there's other trades this stuff will be presented, but you can only go off of basically what's out there right now, and does it make sense, for both teams? Because we know that if you look at what New Orleans is doing, they're going to attempt to try to get two for the price of one. Like they're going to try to get two starters if they can. A starting center there and a complement player to what we got going on with Zion. So I could see them trying to do that. A lot of people like the Trey Young scenario because he's a superstar. Putting him next to Zion, he has his own gravity, which Zion got his ultimate gravity. And you can imagine if you got a Trey Young at the point guard position, him shooting the ball, he's one of the best shooters in the game. You can only imagine what that looks like. And you still got Herb and Trey, who are also pretty good shooters as well. So you form an ultimate group of 3-point shooters. That's special looking, but it's a price tag for that. But the smarter move to me would be, and I'm not thinking about the Cleveland thing right now, would be the DeJounte Murray move. That makes a lot more sense because he's cheaper. I like DeJounte Murray.
We would do exactly the same thing we've been doing.
No, we ain't gonna be doing the same thing. How you doing the same?
We would.
When Murray played, he could play the point guard. He excelled at a point guard position. What you talking about? You talking about CJ McCollum? Oh,
Murray excels at the point guard position. Yes, he does.
Yes,
but he's not. He's not like when you compare him with the ability to get a Darius Garland, Trey Young, bro. It's not the same. Bro, and the reason I'm saying that is because who we have as the catalyst for our team, who will be our number one player in Zion. I don't think he's the best fit
You
for
saying
Zion. No, DeJounte Murray isn't the best fit for Zion. He doesn't maximize what Zion does and what Zion would need. He don't. He can shoot from the three, right? But
yeah,
he's more of he can't
22
shoot from the three like them dudes, bro. He's not like that from the three like them dudes. He shot pretty well last year at 38%. But you watch him his whole career. We've seen him in San Antonio. Wouldn't be mad if we got him. We can do something, but we're still in that same level. It doesn't elevate us to compete with all of these other teams in the West, especially once we get to the playoffs.
bro.
I mean, DeJounte Murray had a 44-point game, Q, but it took him 44 shots. Like, I like his dog. I like his mentality. I like his defense. I like his ability to facilitate. But I want a goddamn three-point assassin to pair with Zion, somebody that can generate some type of ability to scare the shit out of the other defense. That's what I want to pair with Zion. That is the best matchup. That is what takes us into the future. That is what helps us compete with these other teams. It's going to be offense. I don't give a shit about defense pairing with him because I'm looking at what the Mavericks did. You looked at how the Timberwolves failed. You look at a team like Boston. You know, man, you got to get it from the perimeter, man. We need a star at the perimeter. We don't have one. Trey Murphy can potentially be that and maybe a star. We need somebody there that can threaten the team with that three-point shot and has excellent playmaking ability, bro. That's what I want. Trae Young is the best live threat in the league. Darius Garland, not so much, but he's a better playmaker, in my opinion, than DeJounte Murray. Way better. It's a whole nother stratosphere, even with just Darius Garland.
No, I agree with that.
DeJounte Murray slows us down. He likes to take some of the same shots that we complain about with BI, even though he does shoot more threes.
Hold on, before you go too far, let me stop you right there. Let me comment on what you just said because you said a lot. Let me and then you can pick up the floor. All I'm saying is I don't disagree with the Trey thing. I think the Trey Young thing is probably what the Pelicans are considering because they're going to have they have some difficulty attracting. The only way they could acquire a player like a Trey Young is via trade. If BI is the ticket that gets him here, David Griffin is going to look at that very hard because he wants to make a splash. He wants to make a splash trade that will excite the family base. And getting Trey Young here and pairing him with Zion Williamson, that's a very exciting move because he is a superstar. He does make, $10 million more a year than Zion makes. He makes like $43 million a year. And he's one of the best shooters in the NBA. And it's not just a shooter. The guy assists the ball really well. He was a double digits in the assists. So you make a good point on that. But what I was talking about, DeJounte Murray, is on the economical side, he's a guy that averages 22 points a game last year. He's a guy that can play defense. He can shoot the threes, it's different levels in terms of his three-point shooter. I'll give you that. But it's not like the Pelicans are void of three-point shooters. We don't have to three it all out. We have three-point shooters. We got a true three.
As long as I see people building walls to stop Zion and him getting hacked every goddamn play and three people on, we need more shooters, Q. We need polarity at the three-point line, bro. That's the only thing that's going to open up the floor for Zion to be the way we want him to be without him constantly.
You got three-point shooters. You got 3-point shooters. You got 3-point shooters. You got Herb.
I want somebody in the lineup that I ain't got to worry about Willie doing the goddamn rotations, Q.
All I'm saying, man,
that can solve that problem. That Willie got to play. You got big money guy that Willie got to play.
You got 3-point shooters. You got Herb. You got Trey. You got DeJounte Murray's not a bad three. He's not. No, there's very few that's actually Trey Young. I give you that. They can light it up like him.
I'm talking about somebody like that. You see how BI is a master of that little mid-range, and he just going, I want somebody like that from three-point line. We got potentially one in Trey, like you said, and Jordan could be one also. I think he's really special as a movement shooter, but we don't call offensive plays for the man to move much. because he ain't in the game. I want somebody like that that's lethal from 3-point line. If you got a force like Zion, man, I just see it as we need to have a way to completely open the floor up for him. The more I look at this Thunder series and I saw what they did to us, that's why I'm just beating the drum on this point, bro. They did it in an inverted way. They had Chet out there that you gotta respect. They had Josh Giddey, who will be, I guess, our version of Herb Jones, knocking down his shot. You had Williams actually hitting it. And Shea can hit the three, but he was actually just allowed to operate where he wants to operate, all in the mid-range and get to the rack, while everybody else kept it open for him, bro. If you got a Zion, you need somebody that will not allow you to just wall off, being zoned to where the dude got to fight through all that traffic to get what he wants to on the court. It's either that or we go year round with DeJounte Murray and you better pray to God Zion starts shooting 3 points, because it's going to be a similar thing we're going to deal with when we deal with all of these the good teams. Now, we'll run through the league. I ain't going to hold you, bro. We get DeJounte Murray, I think we will win more games than we did last year in the regular season. But when we get in the playoffs, it's going to be the same shit, Q. And Zion probably going to get hurt again. Time to carry us. Because ain't nobody taking pressure off of him, or nobody can utilize his gravity properly. Because to utilize the gravity that Zion creates, you need a 3-point assassin. You need somebody behind that 3-point line. When they keep trying to wall him off and stop him from getting to the hole, they can light their ass up from 3. The most exciting games that we had and the best we've looked is when the Pelicans was playing CJ. They had Trey out there a lot, and you saw Hawk getting in the games, and it was bombing from the 3-point line with Zion out there, man. Team ain't know what to do. We need to make that an every night goddamn thing.
Yeah, I see. And let me comment on that. Let me give a few shout outs. Shout out to the fam listening, man. Y'all hit the like button, man. As we're talking Pels today, man. Shout out to the fam, man. PPR representing. Shout out to the Twitter family, the Twitch family, Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to you. Good to see y'all. T-Mom, I see you, baby. What's popping? B Frank, Blazel Boys. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate y'all as well. And listen, man, shout out to the fam that's tuning in, man. A lot of them checking out the comments, y'all. A lot of great things we're saying. But I think it'll be between these guys. Now, this is the thing about the versatility of your team. I understand the insatiable need to want 3-point shooting everywhere. But at the same time, if you have a Murray, he's economically, it works for you. He's a versatile player. 22.5 points per contest. He a 46-point shooter, a 46% shooter from the field, 36 from downtown. But and his numbers went up. Like these number averages that he had this year with Atlanta was like career highs. A lot of the stuff that he was doing was career highs, or close to the career highs that he had previously. So he had a stellar year. The reason why I like DeJounte Murray is not just economics. It's the fact that I think that he would fit with a Zion Williamson, in the Trey Murphy and a Herb Jones. The kid can play defense. He can guard multiple positions, which buys into the switch off philosophy, and you don't compromise the defense. Now, I understand Trey, and this is the thing that probably will, depending on who gives the best package for Trey Young, but that's probably the deciding factor because of the star power. The Pelicans have become must-see television if Zion and Trey Murphy are paired. No doubt about it. That is a major component to this. And DeJounte Murray doesn't move the needle in terms of excitement. In terms of
not just that. What better point guard is there for Zion?
Yeah, but I got that. But what I'm saying, lob factor, I got you on that, DC, because he would definitely find Zion with the lobs. It'll be lob city.
8 easy points every game.
Right. I give you that. But what I'm saying about Murray, I'm making the case for Murray, like you made the case for Trey, I'm making the case for Murray, just to have contrast here. Like I said, he's a guy, you don't surrender the defense because there is a defensive liability issue with Trey Young. You had all that explosive offense, the lobs and all that, but he does give up things on the other side of us, like a give and get. It's a sacrifice there. But DeJounte Murray, 22 points a game.
DeJounte Murray was getting his ass whacked on defense too this year, Q.
bro, but still in all, DeJounte Murray, man, is a solid defensive player. He might have had a few off games here or there, but he's still a solid defensive player. He's a good player. He scores, and he also can play some good defense. And he also buys into the. He can be put into the switch all mentality that Willie Green loves so much. So he does fit in that regard. Plus, you could be able to maybe get another
switch all.
It's the switch all, brother. You know Willie loves his switch all mentality.
Hey, another team, you want to get into a mismatch? Go right ahead. We're not going to stop you. We're going to just switch it and help you get the mismatch you want.
I've said that for some time now about the switch all philosophy that Willie Green likes to use. It's very full. It's stuff you can't switch all the time. You can't do that because if you switch in everything, you're going to switch into mismatches that benefit your opponent. So you can't switch that crap all the time. You can't pull that on everybody. You got to have an alternative philosophy.
Just don't have the right players, BQ.
You got to have the right. You got to have an alternative philosophy when you meet a team that's really good at switch all that you can't do a damn thing with. And that's what I'm talking about. Willie Green, IQ wise, has to improve because that's some of the stuff that he's missing on. He should have gained that ground from James Borrego. And probably James Borrego he's mentioned as a potential assistant coach for JJ Redick, who the insider said was named, below the scenes is really the guy that they're going to want to have the job. He's already assembling his staff according to reports. And Borrego is, yes. Yeah, Borrego.
Wait. Borrego is going with who?
Borrego could be a potential coach on JJ Redick's staff.
Bro, all right, let me ask you this: Why would Borrego's leave
money? Money.
Yeah, the Lakers are offering a lot of money.
Money.
Way more than the Pelicans.
He gonna go sit behind a coach that he know he better than again?
Yes, because the guy gonna get if he gets fired, he gets the job. Well, you don't know. You ain't been paying attention to Elvin Gentry.
When have the Lakers ever fired somebody and promoted a coach from within their organization without going to sign? They always sign another coach. They don't promote from within for a head coaching job. If that was the case, they would have promoted Jason Kidd that they had sitting right there.
No, and
a bunch of other people that they had Mike Brown over there. They could have promoted him. They went with Darvin Ham.
Hold up, you're forgetting what the situation that happened with Kidd. They had the dirty laundry aired of his marriage situation around that time that muddied the waters on a potential thing with him getting.
Dallas didn't give a shit about that, Q. And look what they had.
No, but that's later on. That had died down.
We spoke on that and we said we would still want him. And, look what it had.
But the thing is, DC, like I'm saying, I'm just filling in the history part of it. So, so I'm going back to that. Like we talk about Borrego, and it's also the Cleveland thing. Cleveland's looking for a coach, and James Borrego is one of the guys that's mentioned there. And a lot of people think that he would be a good coach to have in Cleveland, but this is all stuff. This is all stuff that's going on, and they're all working it out right now. Now, the question is, who do the Pelicans get to replace James Borrego? If anybody, who do the Pelicans get?
It don't even matter because Willie ain't going to use him. He didn't use Borrego.
God damn, Lex.
What? I'm just saying, like, the thing is,
he did use Borrego. Them games when Willie was hurt, we never looked better on offense.
Willie was only out one game, DC. That was one game. He had C19. He missed one game.
It was. I think it was 2, Q.
No,
it was actually 2.
No, it was just one, and it was against Dallas.
It was one
game.
Yes, yeah. Tell him, Lex.
That one game counted for 3 games in my book. It was
that game counted for the whole season because prior to that game, they were looking trash on offense because the shows we were doing the shows. Y'all remember the shows that we were doing? We were saying, where is this vaunted offense that they were talking about? They had installed. Where is that?
They because nobody saw it. Nobody saw it.
Then Borrego,
when James coached that one game against Dallas, the first game against Dallas, the team was horrible, and then the second game against Dallas with Borrego, it's like it was a totally different team.
Yep,
totally different team.
Yep.
I mean, they played it's like wow, you see the Borrego offense, but when Willie came back, obviously, James, he was able to get them started, get them playing well. But then after a while, when Willie came back, they went back to playing, you know, we know Willie coaching them now. That's how they were playing. Like
Yeah,
it's a huge difference. And I think with Borrego, he's able, if it's his offense, because that probably irritated Willie too, the fact that they called it the Borrego offense. But the thing is, if it's your offense and you're acting as head coach, it's easy for you to get guys in the places that they need to be at compared to someone who's secondhand trying to tell you, okay, you need to go here, here, and here. Because obviously Willie wasn't gonna have it where James is out front telling the guys where to be at and where they need to go. I think that's a huge difference. I mean, if it's his offense, then who better to lead that offense, as head coach than Borrego? And it's his offense that you're running.
I know. Yeah, that one game changed how everything looked for the Pelicans for the rest of the year because they were really struggling offensively and they looked the same like they did before. After that game, everything changed. The floor of the game, how they were playing, it was all different. After that. And it caught on and it kept going. But like I said, it's one of those things where he would have to find another assistant coach to come in there and help him out on the system. But you know, I don't know. Like I said, it's all this is dependent upon how Willie Green utilizes these players. It's up to Willie Green. I mean, he has to do a better job. He has to improve as a head coach. He has to, if the team is going to take the next step, because he's going to have to. Man, look at some of the coaches who teams are where they are. You got Dallas coach. We know that. I mean, you know who Jason Kidd is. Mike Mazzulla took over for them. That guy just picked up the mentality. He was basically a unknown, and he just benefited from when what's his name from Houston got caught up in the cheating scandal when he was messing around with the one of the Ime Udoka. He got caught messing around with one of the owners' wives or something, whatever the crap that was going on, craziness. They got him up out of there. Mazzulla took over the team, never turned around. So I mean, these, you need a coach, even if it's a guy that you might not know. You got to have somebody with a high basketball IQ that understand how things work, who understands the very least his roster, his players, and have confidence enough to play the guys. That's not stubborn. It's just that's what we've seen from Willie, and maybe that's a part of the learning curve. But for the Pelicans, we start talking about championships, fam. I want a championship, man. I'm not content with just making the playoffs, man, and then you get burned out of here 4-0. I mean, New Orleans, we want a championship. We have Zion Williamson, one of the most polarizing players in the game. We got a physical therapist that actually got him through a full, almost a full season. And that was the first time I told somebody that they thought I was kidding. We ain't have a physical therapist before? Like, nope. He's like, with athletes, shouldn't you have a physical therapist on staff? And I said, you would think that, wouldn't you? Is they know what the Pelicans need to do? They need to hire another one. Hire two of them. If we did that well with injuries, hire another goddamn physical therapist. It's just astounding. It's amazing. Where are the minds here? Where are the minds? And we got to carry forward. But I want a championship here. And and we'll see what it takes, man. But Willie Green is the key to all this. And I know Lex don't like that, but Willie Green is the key to the Pelicans' future fortune in terms of them getting to where we see Dallas at. Dallas is in the finals. Fam. Dallas, that's from our side, our division. They're going to bring the crown home to the Southwest Division. Watch.
And Big Q, that's just not me. I think that's everybody. Everybody knows that dude can't coach. That ain't just a me thing. I mean, the thing is, he got to step it up and stop being stubborn. Just like, Wu said, like he's stubborn in his ways, and he's willing to go with a plan or a situation or whatever he's trying to do. He's trying to go with that to the death, whether it works or not. And that's what the problem is. It's like, dude, if it's not working, change it. It's okay to change it. Like, he has a huge problem with that. The saying, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, Like things get broken with you. Like you have to be okay with changing things if it doesn't work. That's why I keep saying he has a checkers mentality and not a chess mentality. There's a huge difference. You got to make the adjustments when necessary and not keep going to something that doesn't continue to work.
Yeah, I man, let me tell you, it's really on him, fam. That's what it comes down to. Figure out how far this team go. 49 wins and out in the playoffs. A distasteful, disrespectful 4-0 thrashing of the league. Man, that can't happen. So now here we go. We are resetting the team again, resetting the core. Brandon Ingram gets traded, depending on what he gets. I know what you're saying, DC. But Cleveland, let's address the Cleveland thing right quick. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
What we addressed about Cleveland?
Well, we're going to address this right now, that Cleveland, the situation with them are saying that they're trying to keep the core together. So even if they decide...
Sound like you undressing it.
No. Listen, let's just talk about it a little bit, because this was something I was reading up on yesterday, that Cleveland is they're trying to work to keep the core together. That's Jared Allen and also Darius Garland. Although some people believe that if that is indeed the case, Darius Garland's going to force his way out of there. But they're attempting to keep them together, and they're trying to, I guess the philosophy is they're going to try to bring in a coach. And I know Kenny Atkinson, that's another dude that was out there. He's a pretty
good coach.
That's a good coach, man.
I liked his rotations and things he did with the Nets. That was a really versatile, deep team, and he kind of managed a lot of their minutes and the way he played guys. I thought probably as well as you could, because they played in the playoffs against some heavy hitters. And obviously, they didn't go too far, but I mean, this was a team that their best player or their star was D'Angelo Russell. And just the fact that they were there and putting up a good fight, man, I thought that was a testament of them being a pretty adequate coach. But he's been trying to get a head coaching job, man. It seems it's been like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, he's been sitting on that Golden State bench.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He came up.
He passed up some jobs. It might have been jobs that he didn't want. I'm guessing maybe.
Right.
That he didn't want to take. Because I think he probably is definitely a better coach than Willie Green. I remember us advocating for him before Willie Green was hired. You know, there's a few guys we were advocating for, like Charles Lee as well, who with the Bucks. So I thank God he got a job with Charlotte now. So we see how that turns out. Like you said, Mark Jackson. I think Doc Rivers was available at the time. That might have been before he went with Philly, right?
They tried Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers turned him down for
there was the money, I think you said. Huh?
Yeah, he went to Philly. Because I remember they tried to get him. If I'm not mistaken, I think he went to Philly because they approached Doc Rivers. He turned him down and went to Philly.
I think that would have worked good. Yeah, man. Doc Rivers seemed like a guy that Zion probably would have took too well. And he probably would have had enough feistiness to deal with Brandon Ingram too. I think that would have worked pretty good. Definitely better than what we wound up getting. But I don't buy it with Cleveland. The reason I don't buy it, Darius Garland already said he wanted out, right? Jared Allen, they've already determined that him and Mobley not gonna work. Everything right now we're hearing, man, it's the beginning of the summer. We go through this every year. A lot of the stuff we hear is complete and utter total bullshit.
Smoke screen.
This is their attempt. Yeah, this is their attempt to drive up
the price,
their packages, whatever their people are calling and inquiring about trying to get these guys. I don't think maybe they feel like they can get more. So they come to PR department and the media department drumming up these dumbass stories that don't make sense to try to drive up the price and to get you to believe that they're delusional. You know what I'm saying? So you can try to, let me give them a little more to just prime them away. But I don't think we're going to hear any real true truth from teams on where they stand, what they're trying to do, who they're really going to get rid of, and what that really means until we look at the draft. The draft is going to tip the hands of a lot of these moves, because once you see the type of personnel that they bring in, I mean, it don't matter what they're saying. Okay, let's say Cleveland does want to get rid of Jared Allen, right? You don't think they're gonna draft a center, even if they draft one in the second round. Like they're going to draft a center if they're gonna get rid of him. So certain things that teams do during draft is gonna tip their hand on whether they are really this damn crazy, what they're saying, or if they just, we're trying to drive up the price. It might be a trade they're trying to execute on draft night, putting the story out, But it just don't make sense to me, man. They've been trying to trade Jared Allen for teams like almost 2.5, 3 years. Now all of a sudden you want to keep the whole core together? That shit don't make sense. Darius Garland PR team, Clutch Sports, already came out and said that if Donovan Mitchell stays, he's gone. Right. So it's like they've already deleted Cleveland's leverage in moving him, which is why a lot of teams don't like dealing with Clutch Sports, and it has me curious about the DeJounte Murray trade as well, because he's a Clutch Sports client. Trey Young is not. He's the same one with Zion.
They don't BS trade, DC. Come on, but I'm saying that they
don't what?
But they don't BS on every trade. I mean, they have certain situations that I've seen them. If players felt like they wanted out to a more lucrative situation, I've seen them do that. They get aggressive. But in terms of players,
they for the players, but as an organization, you don't like them. They're more difficult to deal with, obviously, because of those reasons.
Right, but you do change. Players do change their minds at times. They just say, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
Do this, and there is some give and get right there.
I don't see it working though. It's an undersized backcourt. You can't have, in my opinion, you got dudes like that. You can't have two that are undersized. You've seen some reiterations of that work, but like for the long haul, short term, you can do it. Like that's why I'm a proponent of the CJ McCollum, Trey Young thing in spurts. I'm not saying he got to be a starter. I love for him to go to the bench, but I'm a realist at this point. I'm tired of wishing and hoping. I got high off of hopium like 2 years ago, man. I was ODing on this shit, Pelicans, and I got tired of
selling it.
Huh? You're selling hopium, trying to tell the people of all these magnificent ass trades. Well, we go get everything wonderful, and we ain't got to give up shit.
That's not what I said. Oh no, No, I'm not selling hopium.
Big Q was a major hopium dealer back in the day, yo. Let me tell you.
Can I
bringing that shit in by the boatloads. Let me tell you.
From your native nation.
you and Mickey Loomis bringing that shit in by the boatloads. Let me tell you.
No. I'm buying it from you. I'm buying it from your native country. That's where I was getting from. But now the Jared. Now listen. The Darius Garland thing. You're absolutely right on that. He definitely doesn't want to be there with Donovan. Now, like I said, they do reserve the right to change their mind. Now, the Jared Allen thing is a little different. You're right. They tried to trade Jared before, but then they got hit with a bunch of injuries. He stayed, and then he just started balling for him. He was putting up all these heavy stats and all this kind of stuff. Could have changed things a bit, but he got hurt, and they didn't like the way how he handled it. A lot of people thought he could have played with that injury. A lot of the players thought so, that he could have played, and that kind of made them feel a certain kind of way. So I think you can't have a player that's always in perpetual smoke. There's fire somewhere around there. So eventually I think they will get Jared Allen gone, but it makes sense because the Pelicans have a public interest in Jared Allen. He's one of the players that the Pelicans are interested in, and they feel like he'll be a good person to bring here to play for us. Now, Darius Garland, DC, I know you, he's not exactly Trey Murphy, but I do like his temperament. Very exciting, man.
He's down to Trey Murphy. He ain't exactly Trey Young.
No, yeah, Trey Young. I'm sorry, what I said.
Trey Murphy.
My bad. See,
he ain't 6'10", and you damn right about that.
DC, go ahead, DC. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, when the big man to get one, boy, he like that. All right, so
all them goddamn books you got back there, you ought to know that.
Why don't you turn your damn camera on and show all that talking shit in that hallway all damn shit.
I'm over here by a palm tree right now, man. I can't talk. Palm tree right now.
You show that shit in the hallway somewhere? Hey. That boy in the hallway in Jamaica somewhere talking about a palm tree, boy. Out of here. Got a Walmart plant.
We keep the palm trees inside over here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Got a glass. The light automatically gets in, boy. Y'all on some high tech.
Remind me of Hollywood in the house all the time.
All right, so anyway.
My dog say I'm at downtown. Keep
You talking about BQ selling who your major hopium dealer. I say, yeah, I've been buying it from you. Kept buying it from
that boy had it not by the truckloads, that boy had it by the shiploads. You're a bunch of hopium.
Had the ship backing up to the house, man.
What?
Yes.
Man. We had people ODing on that shit, man. And, you know, but after about 2 years of it, we felt bad. It was like, nah, we got this epidemic out. This looks like crack in the 80s right now, man. We gotta fix this.
No. But listen, man, we not selling hope.
David Griffin came in as George Bush senior around here, bro. We had to quit selling that damn opium, man.
That boy came in like Oliver North. What you talking about, man? That boy came in like Oliver North, man. Not no Reagan. That Griffin came in as like Oliver North selling all that opium, man, and word salad on the side. That boy had it.
Oh man, that's an excellent comment by my man 504 Doc. What's up, brother? Look what he put up there, Q. I can't really disagree with that shit.
Boy,
David Griffin has helped the Lakers more than the Pelicans at this point.
Yeah, that man, the Laker agent, man.
Griffin's been helping the Lakers since he's been here. That's his job, besides trying to relocate us. Wow, it's powerful comment, man.
Well, listen, we got to grow some brains around here. That's what we've been saying for some time now about the Pelicans. From a high IQ standpoint, basketball IQ standpoint, the top two people that run the organization are not savvy in basketball. They're not. Gail doesn't know basketball, and Dennis Lauscher, who's the president of basketball operations, don't know a damn thing about basketball. But don't feel bad because he don't know a damn thing about football, and he's the president of the Saints the same way, same organization, same crazy structure. The highest basketball mind is David Griffin. We need, and like we got Swin up there, and listen, I'm caught because I think David Griffin, you can make mistakes at the VP level, but listen, man, it's too much salesman crap that goes on with David Griffin. We want to see results. And David Griffin's been here for how many years? 4 or 5 years now? He's going into his 5th year. How long has he been here?
It's been 5 years.
5 years.
It's 5.
It's results
he got
time.
here right before Zion was drafted.
It's results time. You know, he's like, well, we got 49. No, man. You resetting the core. Let me put this to make people understand this. We got over 200 people watching. Y'all hit the like button. The guy resetting the core. So when he came in, his idea was to have B.I., Zion, and then he put C.J. with him, traded for C.J., and he threw Larry Off the bench. The reality is he's resetting the core. This is year 5. We're resetting core. What are we building on here? We just started really seeing what Zion could do. They got a physical therapist. A lot of the stuff that David Griffin is doing, it's like a new general manager. It's like he's the VP, but it's like a new dude that is just going through the motions of making mistakes. Y'all hear what I'm saying? This guy's supposed to be a general manager at another place. And he got the job based on the fact that he has a championship ring. But y'all know it, I know. If you do the research on that, you know how he got that championship ring with Cleveland. That was LeBron James. LeBron James does the same thing he does in every organization. He's a de facto general manager. When they bring LeBron in there, if you bring LeBron on your team, LeBron James is going to come to the owner or whoever the top decision maker is, and they're going to say, LeBron, what do you need? And LeBron will tell them what they need, not the other way around. He's going to tell them, I want you to get this. That's how he had Tristan Thompson.
That's what he did with Griff.
Right.
Griff is taking credit of the championship, but it's like, dude, LeBron told you exactly who he needed. Go get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you didn't do anything. You were just in the position where you were, you were the beacon. You're making the trades happen. But it wasn't you. You weren't thinking of, okay, we need this guy, we need this guy. And I think that's why he's a control freak. You know what I'm saying? He just want yes people around.
Well, we officially call him the octopus because he is a micromanager.
Yeah.
And stuff is all over the place. So that's why
LeBron gave him PTSD for real. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you're right. but that's what I'm saying, Lex. The whole thing is like you look at the moves.
You worry about how you winning versus just winning.
Yeah, he wants to win his way.
That's evil. That's the devil.
But y'all know he wasn't talking like that up there. He wasn't talking about doing this, no basketballs.
They would have smacked him all up the ball ass head talking that bullshit, man.
Great humans and all this kind of rhetoric. He wasn't trying to build a basketball culture.
Yeah.
He wasn't building a basketball culture about good human beings and sustainability. That's gobbledygook, man.
Yeah, same thing with culture.
Right, that's cheap. That's
talking
cheap.
about the Miami Heat culture, but the thing is, how you build family and culture and all that other junk and good human beings. Start focusing on winning. The winning has to be the foundation. If winning is the foundation, everything's gonna come along with it. The culture, the family. Hey, let me tell you something. Everybody get along when you're winning.
Yes.
When you have winning, that is the culture. Our culture is winning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not. This stuff is not complicated. I just think the focus is on everything. But
Who drafted Deion? Who drafted Deion Waiters? I'm just asking the question. Who drafted?
Who drafted Kyrie Irving? You got to give him a little credit.
Did he draft?
He does amazing at layup picks, huh?
DC got the same record.
That's a goddamn layup.
I'm just saying, man. Like if you look, no, you're right, Lex. You want to build.
Hold on. My dog said he didn't draft.
Straight up trying to use that credential of that one championship. He holding on to that thing for dear life. Like, dog, you were not that dude. You were not that dude. You were trying to pump yourself up, and that's probably
we need Zion to be
when they interviewed him, when they brought him in. Like he used that. He was on NBA TV talking up. Well, this is what I would do. I'm like, oh, dog, I know exactly what you're doing because you hoping that Gail or somebody from the Pelicans sees you on NBA TV saying, oh, well, that's what he was doing. He just came from the Cavs. Yeah, he just came from the Cavs. Hey, let's go check out what David Griffin got to say since he got ideas and things.
Hey, check this out. Brother Mo said that he drafted Anthony Bennett though. Anthony Bennett. Boy, you can't make this up.
That's like one of the worst draft picks
ever
in history.
Yeah.
Yes, that dude.
Yeah.
And he also drafted. Didn't he?
Nobody knew who he was.
Number one.
I don't.
Man, who went out? You know what? I'm gonna look up who else went in the draft. He drafted Wiggins when they had LeBron. You remember that? And then they traded him for Kevin Love. And that turned into a championship. That turned into a championship now.
That was something that
because they wanted somebody who was proven.
Right. That was something.
You said that LeBron was telling them.
LeBron, bro, listen, because it don't make any sense. Look at the moves that he making now. If he was doing all of that, you would see them type of moves being made right now. It's been 5 years. And I mean the mistakes, like mistake number one, coming into the Pelicans.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think we have made similar moves to what they did.
Hold on,
in Cleveland.
No, I'm not talking about that. He did.
We don't have a LeBron,
but it's not the same here. If you look at, I'm talking about his record coming here. He's first coming out of the gate. He kept Elvin Gentry. He should have fired Elvin Gentry. Then he ended up firing him anyway at the first year. Then he brings in. Does he bring in a credible coach after that? No, he doesn't. What he does
do his homework, man.
He went and got Stan Van Gundy. Stan Van Gundy ain't coached in years. He was talking about basketball. And then prior to that, he was a general manager tearing up the Pistons. The guy had coached in years, and he made him a coach.
Go get this. Check this out, Q.
VP would never have done that, bro. And then after
he drafted Andrew Wiggins, right? Do you know who went number 3 in that draft?
Who?
Joel Embiid.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing.
They were worried. They were worried about his injuries because because they both went to Kansas.
Yeah.
But
and they paid off for him though. Eventually, he did get. He was able to make it through it. But I'm saying in terms of
how would Cleveland look with Joel Embiid right now?
No, I don't know. I don't know if Cleveland had the patience to wait for him like Philly did. They had the whole process thing going. They had Jaleel Okafor they drafted. So I mean, they had a lot of stuff going on up there. But listen, this is what I'm trying to say about what's going on with.
Oh, we got a super chat, Q.
Yeah. Just a second, DC. We're gonna get it. The second move, like I talked about, the Stan Van Gundy siren, because that wasn't no Trajan Langdon. That wasn't Trajan saying, "Hey man, let's go get Stan Van Gundy." That was David Griffin, man. And then he gets him. He fails after 1 year, and then, as opposed to Pelicans having enough money to go and get a credible coach, they had to then settle for a cheap coach. No disrespect, Willie, but they had to settle for a cheap coach.
Wait. We ain't seen the contract, Q.
That's true too. After firing 2 coaches in 2 years, fam, listen to what I'm saying.
Hey, lack of stability.
They fired 2 coaches in 2 years of David Griffin taking over the team. Does that sound like somebody that knows what he's doing?
Lack of stability.
Telling y'all,
the stability has not been there. If you look at Ja,
3 coaches,
you know what I'm saying? Or even with Ant, they all have the same coach. Like that's what I mean by the situation that you come into matters. That's a lack of stability. That's 3 different coaching styles. 3.
Wow. And he also could have got
is that enough to build rapport?
Like
too. Teams aren't doing that. Especially if you're talking about this being a small market team. Like, look, maybe the bigger market teams, they can do that jump. You can't do that if you're a small market, though. You have to have that stability set in place. That's why I keep saying, man, look, you're going to draft a generational talent like Zion. Man, the organization was not ready to draft somebody like that. They weren't prepared for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be ready for something like that. And they just, I mean, just from a stability standpoint, they just didn't have it.
What do you think they would have to do to be? Hold up, let's read the super chat, though, man. We got my man up here waiting.
Go ahead, DC. You can read it.
504 Dot, appreciate the $5. Oh, he said, LOL, I forgot he drafted Bennett. That alone is grounds for termination. Shit, I couldn't agree more, man. I was looking at that 2014 draft. Joker was in that draft too, Q. Yeah. What if that boy would have drafted Joker number 1? How LeBron would have felt about that?
I know.
Would he have needed Kevin Love?
No.
Nobody ain't got the goddamn vision. Go ahead, Lex. I'm sorry, bro.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. No, she's still there. It's crazy, the whole situation because we sit here, we've been doing the Pelican Postgame Report for a long time, fam. We've been doing it for a long time. And the issues like we seen where the Pelicans came in, because we catalog all of this stuff about all of the bad management. The Pelicans had some shit general managers over the years. And Dale Demps was probably one of the worst. Even the late, great Commissioner David Stearns said this guy don't know what he's doing.
The worst GM in the history of basketball.
Called him that. Yep, said that. And Dale Demps was awful, but the Pelicans set up there and kept that man for years because they don't know nothing about no basketball. And it's the same thing. David Grifter comes in here and then he sets up this whole other situation about him being about accountability and all this stuff. And he wants to create basketball. He wasn't talking like that in Cleveland. He wasn't talking about, I want to have a bunch of good human beings and all this kind of nonsense and all this rhetoric. Forget all of that. 5 years in, that's when we need to start looking at this. It's now a reset for the core that he set up. Now, here we go again. So, like I said, we got to hold his feet to the fire. And that's why Trajan Langdon was trying to get out of here. We talked about that for some time. I like every opening, VP opening, Trajan Langdon trying to get the hell out of Dodge. Why? Because Langdon ain't going to get no. He's not going to get it.
He ain't give a shit. He ain't get that job. Could have been in goddamn Antarctica somewhere. Trey putting in the application.
Even the media made that. They wanted to talk to VP. They wanted David Griffin over him. They forgot he was the general manager. I'm the general manager of the Pelicans right now.
And you know what? The mainstream media forgets.
They do.
Think they even forget that, hey, Griff is not the GM. That's why
that's gonna stay like that.
The same position as what'd you say, DC?
I said that's gonna stay like that with Bryce.
Why, DC? Go ahead. Why is it gonna stay like that?
Because he ain't gonna talk. He gonna keep getting the call.
They said he's more quieter than Langdon.
Yeah, that's what Q said.
You got a guy that's quiet.
And when I watched the interview that I told Big Q to play, he still ain't played. I understand why he's quiet.
But see, again, Griff wants people around that he can control, though, y'all, man. Like you said, he micromanages. Like he doesn't really he ain't trying to see another LeBron. He ain't trying to go head to head with somebody with that type of personality. And if you look at the personalities, that's why I was talking about that. We need a different type of personality on this team, in this organization. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too many guys with the same personality, quiet, collected, really mild mannered. Look, you gotta let that go. Like we need some different types of personalities. We could use a little bit of friction, like, because the thing is, if you look at the championship teams, you always, like, when they win at it, it's because they were passionate about winning. The thing is, this team, everybody's all laid back and jump. It's like y'all don't feel nothing. Like we need to feel, we need to have an attitude, feel a certain kind of way. Like, dog, losing is not cool. Dog, you about to get swept. Like, y'all don't feel a certain kind of way about that? Come on, man. Put forth a better effort. Go out there with energy. Look, you may not have your best player. You may not have, like, the guys that you need out there, but at least go out there and ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, energy plays a huge part. I know coaching does too, but it's like, come on, guys. Like, at some point in time, you got to get tired of, like, man, look, we're getting embarrassed in the media. Don't nobody respect us. Let's think about what Draymond Green said. Let's think about what Jimmy Butler was saying.
Yep.
Oh, no, ain't nobody worried about the Pelicans. That don't make you feel a certain kind of way. Like, again, that calm, cool, and collected attitude, it's not it. We need some personalities that are edgy. Like, dog, like, I ain't trying to lose. I am not trying to lose. Like, look, man, we got to go out here and do something. Man, something. Like, but attack, be on the attack mode, something. But you can't just lay down and be like, oh, well, we're losing, so we're not going to show any fight. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's true, Lex, because they did say that even though we took care of business against Miami, Draymond Green doubled down on comments about the Pelicans. He said some people view it as negative. Actually, time has shown that it was actually true. He said the Pelicans, he said during the year, last year, when they were playing games, that the Pelicans are not cut like that. Then he came back during the All-Star break and said, ain't nobody worrying about no goddamn Pelicans. And Chuck Barkley said, what'd you say? He said, ain't nobody worrying about no Pelicans. Then he changed it to worry about. So he kind of waved them off. And that's because you got to have that killer instinct. You got to have that. And the Pelicans, where was this killer instinct during the back down of the year? Like, the Pelicans, like, it took multiple tries to get to the play-in. And then we lost to the Lakers seemed like a dozen times. We lost to them twice. Fell in the lap of Sacramento, who just so happens to be the one of the teams that we just dominated and beat like 5 or 6 times in a row. So we were able to get there. And then after that, That was the last decent effort game that you got, because when the playoffs started, they were rusty. They didn't look good, and the OKC was totally rusty. They lost by 2, and then OKC turned it up and just blew them out of there. So I mean, yeah, where is the fight? Where is the that mentality? Because Griffin builds a basketball cult of good human beings, and Gail Benson at the top saying David Griffin, he's such a nice man. All this nonsense. So in the end, man, like
everybody's a nice man. So was Alvin Gentry.
oh, Alvin Gentry, such a nice man. Such a nice man. That's what she says. Everybody.
What about Stan Van Gundy?
Oh, he's such a nice man, but his best things.
Nah, you gotta let DC do his voice, man.
No, please, no.
We talking about.
Oh,
we talking about Yale. I can't do Yale voice.
Yeah, man.
Stan had no comment to that, man. He was eating Rocky Roll's ice cream, laughing when she said that. Like, oh, that's great.
Now, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing about Stan, because they had some recent articles that came out about his wife. His wife had passed away, and the details behind it were secret. But literally, he came out. He came out literally later, recently, and said that his wife committed suicide.
Holy shit!
I know, man, and he'd been struggling.
Damn. Yeah, that's rough, man.
That's
even if you can get over the loss of a loved one, man, to commit suicide, like, damn, that's rough.
Yeah, said his wife committed suicide, man. So shout out to Stan Van Gundy, man. He's dealing with some horrible stuff over there, man. So yeah, but
bless that brother, man.
Yeah, for real. So, but on Pelican side of things, yeah, this has to change around, man, big time. And like Willie Green's the guy that they gave. Remember, and it just keeps going. Remember the secret extensions that the Pelicans signed late last year. In 2023, the Pelicans signed David Griffin, Trajan Langdon, and Willie Green signed extensions that they kept this information away from the flocking nation, away from the Pale faithful, all the way until the last week of the regular season, right before the plan started. That's when they leaked the news.
We got an extension.
Were signed. So think about what I'm saying. They signed them late last year and didn't tell you about them until 5 to 6 months later, when right before right before the plan, about 3 or 4 months, whatever the case may have been, into the new year, right at the end of the regular season. They leaked it and then didn't allow anybody to expound on it. So Willie Green had received an extension, Griffin got an extension, and he kept it secret. You do this stuff because you know that's not the correct way to do it. You don't sign secret extensions and then leak it out and then allow the reporters to follow up on questions about whether or not they signed extensions. By the way, they couldn't verify how long the extensions were. What kind of shady shit is this? That's what kind of problem I got with organizations that do underhanded stuff like this with David Griffin is obviously a part of this foolishness. That's why when he comes in with all this word salad, people got to challenge him on that, because he's full of shit, man. He is full of it. He's full of it, bro. That whole resume about champion, all that's LeBron, man. LeBron helped you out on that. And then you come here because you're not mimicking no kind of moves here like that. All of this rhetoric about being a basketball family, man, these people are being paid to play basketball. They utilize their time to win and get the proper coaches here to help these people understand what they got to do. But we are tied up into the future with a coach. And I no disrespect to Willie. Willie would be a good assistant coach. I wanted more of a person that had more of a resume in terms of being our coach, a guy that won a championship ring, that knows what it takes to get there. That when he walks in the room and command the respect of the players because he's been there before. He knows what it takes. But we couldn't get that guy because the Pelicans under Griffin had 3 head coaches in the first 3 years he stepped foot in the door. And a lot of times the first 2 impacted us paying the third. So the guys that they were looking at, they wanted the ones that were higher up wanted more money. We had to go with a cheaper coach and a less experienced coach. And now, not only as a team, you got to learn from the coaches got to learn for the team to go further. So expect games where he gets his ass kicked by more experienced coaches that adjust better to him. Like we had that 0-28. What is it? Y'all help me out. 0-28, 0-29 when losing, while we're opening up the fourth quarter in a deficit. When you're losing in the fourth, the Pelicans are like 0-29 or something like that. It's crazy. 0-29 when starting the fourth quarter trailing. Nothing. Don't even talk about none of that. Don't come up with any answers for that. So, like I said, man, this has to change. It has to get better. What's up, fam? This is Big Q from PPR. Thank y'all for watching. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the share button. Hit all the notification buttons. And make sure you follow us here every week as we talk about all things Pelicans. Much love. Go Pels.